Hello, Coin Geek family. How's everyone doing today? Today it's time for a mailbag question and answer session, and we're going to get right to it with Mr. Double X, Nurmac Double X. As a former statistical process control lead, I just have to point out that what you are calling chatter is not chatter. Chatter is a repetitive vibration, slippage, or sticking which creates an oscillating pattern of distortion in a part. What you are calling chatter is not caused by the die used when the coins were minted. It is the scratches and wear caused by circulation. If it was chatter or any other manufacturing defect, the coins would be leaps and bounds more valuable. Okay, well, and I would like to point out that I learned something today because I did not know what a statistical process control lead was. I had to look that up. That's fantastic. Also, it's good to understand that it has to do with vibration, slippage, and sticking. Now, what I would like to explain, though, is that I use the term chatter correctly insofar as that's the term that we use. I understand that these words can mean different things to different people in different places, but the nice thing is that you can use different terms to convey different ideas. And sometimes the terminology in the coin world changes over time. For example, it was pretty recently that people started using the term constitutional silver to refer to 90% junk silver, which is what we've called it for decades. So that's relatively new. So I had to get over it and just recognize that that's what people do. If I want to call something, champagne supernova colors, I can. If I've got, if I want to make something up and say, that coin's so great, you can't stop it. You can only hope to cointain it. I can do that. You have the license and liberty to speak your mind in America, I think. But chatter, to be straight to the point, is the term that I use to describe when there are lots of little contact marks on a coin that are from, oftentimes from being in pockets or being in bags, most likely bag marks. But also I use the term chatter when I'm talking about really fine marks that are not heavy. So for me, chatter is something that is smaller marks, but usually a lot of them. Thanks for the comment. Doug Hensley commenting on something on the website, but it says, are you going to the Missouri Numismatic Society Coin Show? This is at the end of the third week of July outside of St. Louis in St. Charles. I would love the old town St. Charles City. You know what? Here's the thing. I actually contacted the show director. They are sold out. And it looks like the type of show that I've been trying to get to because I think for those of you who've heard me talk about this before, I want to kind of get to the Midwest and get out and experience something that's not necessarily as big as Chicago, but that's a nice show that draws from lots of different areas. I may get out there and not get a table. I may just come out, which would be a whole new vibe for me. I'm not so sure. I mean, I prefer having a table, but we'll see what happens as we transpire here. Thank you for the suggestion because it's exciting to see that the show is sold out. That means good things for the show, right? All right, Ben says, maybe a dumb question. If you crack a coin and send it back to the same grading company, will they not just look in your history and say, well, you already submitted this coin and we called it? I assume you would send it to NGC if already cleaned by PCGS. All right, so a couple things. They do not look at your record when you send a coin in. That's not how the grading process works. The coin grader, simply has the coins presented to them in a holder. It has the number on it, and it all associates with something that technically they're not supposed to see who submitted the coins. The grader is not supposed to see who submitted the coins. Having said that, one more point to make is if I sent in an 1881 S. Morgan, I could have sent in a million of them, right? There's nothing that says that this is the same coin they saw before. Now, having said that, both PCGS and NGC keep track of coins using different types of photo technology. PCGS more so. In fact, anything with the little gold shield on the PCGS holder is a coin that is in their database that they can actually run through a scanning machine or a photo machine and see if that coin has been sent to them previously. It's like a facial ID kind of item for the coin. So that is something that PCGS does do, and as far as I can tell, they can tell if you've sent a coin in before. I don't know where in the process that happens. I don't know exactly when they send it through a scanner or take a look at it to see if it's been submitted before. And they might only do that on certain levels. I don't know. They might only do that on more expensive coins, because if you're sending something in on the economy service, then maybe it's not worth their time to scan things through. All right, let's see, Daniel. Okay, what about a coin that's AU55 by PCGS, but you know it's been dipped? Is it still worth an AU55 and not a grade less? I think the majority of old US coins have been dipped. They are lustrous silver and are not toned as its original state for a coin that's over 170 years old. Is that a right assumption? The majority of old US coins have been cleaned or dipped in some shape throughout its life. All right, 2 questions here, both good questions. Thank you, Daniel. The question about a coin coming back AU55 from PCGS, but you know it's dipped, like you or I know it's dipped. This is a great question, because for someone who's a collector, you do want to train your eye and not just rely on PCGS or NGC for their grade. You want to be able to look at a coin and say, you know what, I understand PCGS called this AU55, but I don't like this coin. It's too dull. It has too many contact marks. It has too much wear. And the only thing to know about that coin is don't buy it. Just don't buy it, right? And so there are always going to be coins in any grade set that are going to be good for the grade, great for the grade, and below average for the grade, and occasionally even overgraded. But if you see a coin that you want to have great luster on and it's flat and not exciting to look at, it's very dull, then just pass on it. But the question about whether all coins or most coins have been dipped, this is going to be a little bit of like parsing words here, but no, most coins have not been dipped. But what I mean by that is, you know, I've handled hundreds of thousands, if not millions of coins in my career, and the vast majority of them have not been dipped. You know, we see a lot of coins, and we dip very few. There's almost nothing that we feel needs to be conserved or needs to have something removed, because, you know, that's the whole point, really, from my perspective, of trying to dip a coin. Usually you're trying to get something off the surface that is a problem for the coin itself. But having said that, no, most coins that are even graded or slabbed have not necessarily been dipped. And also, lots of coins that are 170 years old can be blast white. That's okay. That's actually a real thing. Now, it is more likely that coins that are, how would I put this? There are certain coins that it's more likely to have been dipped than others, right? So if you're speaking very specifically about the Morgan Dollar series, and you're speaking about uncirculated common date coins, there's a lot bigger chance that coins have been dipped. And there's plenty of coins that are in holders that are not attractive coins that have been dipped. So yeah, you do want to look out for it. But I'm just going to tell you, it's not the majority of coins by any means. You know, it's really a minority of coins that have been dipped when you think of the whole overall world of coins. All right, Andy. Hey Ben, I've been a semi-avid collector and acquired an 1856 California Gold Indian head with the starred wreath on the reverse. I've been searching for pricing and can't find anything that I would consider valid. A coin guy in my town and I about embarked on a journey similar to the Holy Grail quest and came up with the same results, empty-handed, except for a few imposters posing as numismatists. Any recommendations on an outlet to gain more knowledge about this coin? Or if you had any info to share, that would be great. Thanks in advance. And then he's got a little emoji of a guy fencing. I don't mean making a fence and like painting it, you know, like paint on, paint off, wax on, wax off. No, like fencing. You know, it's an Olympic event. You should look it up sometime. All right, so a couple things. First of all, books. If you want more knowledge about it, you look for the books that are involved. Now you may be thinking, what books, Ben? How can you tell me to get books? Okay, here's one. California Gold, right? Dollars, half dollars, quarters, right? And this one's by Kenneth Lee. This is fun. This is the J. Rowe collection catalog. This was a Bowers and Morena auction back in the day. When is this thing from here? September of 2003. I bet you can find this on eBay or something for just a few bucks. I'd imagine that's probably what you could find it for. This has a lot of fun detail. This is not the same thing. This is different. the Bechtler coins. This is Rodney Bearfield and Keith Strawn. This book is actually not about what you asked about, right? California Fractional Gold. There you go. That's more up your alley, right? This one is by David and Susan Doring. And here's another Kenneth Lee book, California Gold. Probably the same as the Small Blue book, just a different edition. So there's books, right? But you asked about pricing. Now, books is for someone probably if you want to go in depth on something. But as always, I really recommend auction catalogs, because most auction catalogs, you're going to get really fine examples of stuff, and you're going to have usually a nice detailed description of the item. So that's kind of fun. But you can use just basic price guides. You can, PCGS, they have California Fractional Gold. Now, I always give the caveat for PCGS and anybody else, these things are guides. They are not the Word of God. It's just a guide. You look through them and you see what they have. If they have a breakdown tab where you can click on it and see auction results, that's the best. But I like seeing a combination of auction results and price guides, and then you just kind of have to get a feel for what the market is. You know, nothing's going to be exact or precise. So oftentimes, if I can't find exactly what I'm looking for, I will try to find auction results at Heritage, someplace like that, and just see if I can find anything, even if I haven't seen an auction on an item for 2 decades. That helps me understand if the piece is really rare or it's so common they won't auction it, right? There's like 1 or 2 things going on there if you haven't seen something for 2 decades. So anyways, I hope that's helpful for you. You can go check out these different price guides, but always, if you really are getting passionate about a certain area, find a book, no matter how old it is, because sometimes I think the older the better, but the old books have a ton of great information in them, and it really will add to your collecting. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching on Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner, watch more videos on the right side of the screen, and we have memberships. If you want to throw a little bit in the tip jar here or watch extra videos that we produce for members only, you can click on the Abraham Lincoln icon. All right, take care.